Hi friends, how are you all? Again a fresh new video on the recent situation around the tech layoffs that is happening all around, and we get to see thousands of such posts on LinkedIn and other places and over social media or over news channels, right? And newspapers as well. A very disturbing times for sure. 2023 has begun with big bang reforms in the tech industry, and there are these tech giants like Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, all in the league of laying off thousands of people. Uh, but here is a little different perspective that I would like to share on this video than what we are hearing all over, right? The noise around technology industry going through a dip crunch, and there is going to be a bad situation for the tech industry overall. But my thoughts are not aligned with that, and I think a little differently on this piece of situation, right? Uh, Look, there are two parts to this, right? First thing is people who have lost their jobs are for sure in a difficult situation for now, but they will slowly blend in into the other opportunities available in the tech world, right? And with other numerous thousands of companies, right, which are thriving out there. So that's one part. The second part is we should not panic. So with this, a lot of uh, people in the IT industry, in the high tech industry, in the technology knowledge industry, advisory industry, they are in a state of panic that, wow, Google, a company whom we have revered for the last 30 years, they are laying off 12,000 people. So what's gonna happen, right? But that's not how the situation is. That's not how we need to look at this. So all of this has happened because of an unnatural projection or demand shift towards digital, and people's behavior or people's engagement over digital channels, right? And because of the lack of physical and in-person interactions that were happening during the 2 years of the pandemic, correct? And those 2 years when the pandemic was at its peak, everybody had to stay at home, work from home, order online, from groceries to daily needs to food through food delivery apps and whatnot, right? That fueled this whole unnatural demand, which created an illusion with a lot of these tech companies who had seen an immediate opportunity to tap into this demand, because of which they had to hire a lot of more people than they were running with, correct? And that whole demand suddenly vaporized once the world again opened up. The vaccines actually were effective across the globe, right? We have seen the Pfizer and Moderna doing good in the US. The Indian vaccines, they did good, which could break the COVID transmission chain, and the world opened up. As soon as the world opened up, people started flocking malls to supermarkets to clubs and bars to holiday destinations, right? Everything. So people were in desperate need of those human connections. And as that increased, immediately the pseudo demand of online interactions, online shopping, everything fell. Everything drastically dropped. So this curve of high demand versus low to moderate demand, this fluctuation has created this illusionary situation of hiring more people to actually have uh, actually build more profit during that part of the time, and then everything vaporized. So these companies couldn't really balance it out, right? Which is unfortunate. But at the same time, if you look at, there isn't much of cut layoffs or employee cuts in major services companies like, say, the Accentures of the world, the Tata Consultancy Services of the world, right? Because their focus was not on very high tech area which saw a sudden flux of demand. So their focus, the services, the tech services companies are focused on long-term projects, banking projects, right? Telecom projects, whose growth and demand is a sustainable demand, is a sustainable growth. So again, that whole new thing of sustainability is coming into picture very heavily. That business leaders will have to look at building business models which are sustainable and which aren't like trying to tap into an immediate opportunity to become rich. We've seen few startups which have now got affected because the startups like Swiggy laying off people because of the high demand of ordering food online during the pandemic years, during those couple of years during pandemic. And in 2022, towards the end, that decreased because people started going to restaurants, people started going to eateries, people started meeting friends and families outside and sit together and eat rather than just calling a box of meal box and sitting alone at home and eating. The whole paradigm shift has created a drastic uh, fall in the demand of these kind of offerings which were there out there in the market. But if you look at from uh, the bigger tech requirements like 5G is still in place, right? The telecom industry progressing, healthcare progressing, um, banks becoming much more people friendly, digitally savvy, because these are sustainable business models. And tech companies who are supporting these kind of sustainable businesses aren't that affected or are not going to be affected in the near future because the curve will still be upwards. So that's my synopsis or point of view on the huge tech layoffs that's happening all around us. We hope things stabilize. We hope people find new jobs. We hope people find that stability sooner than later. Thank you all. See you next time very soon. Bye bye.